Hello my friends and welcome. This is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's go to the Bakhmut area towards Klishivka and Andriivka. Ukraine got some of the ground out there. So today we have the big update from the deep state military map. Let me show you the timeline. It was yesterday and it is today. Definitely there is the movement towards Avdiivka village. All of those very important lakes are now in the gray area. The fighting is ongoing for them, but I'm sure that it is just a matter of time that Ukraine will get control over them. This area with some lakes and the river is on the lower ground compared to the surroundings, and here again we have the high ground. Russia is now using it as their main defense line. So for Ukrainian army to go to Avdiivka, we need to push lots of those Russian brigades out from this place. It's not easy to do, because again our forces need to climb uphill. That is what they did over here before Klishivka, but this task is not unreal. So Ukraine will continue to push towards this side, towards Avdiivka and towards Opitne. I'm sure about this stuff. As for Russia, they still possess the resistance in this area, but they moved some of the forces to the other parts of the front lines, for example near to Avdiivka, where they are ready for the full-scale attack once again. Avdiivka is not far away from the Donetsk city. Russia was fighting for it since 2014. Now again it became the hottest spot on the front lines. Russia wants eagerly to encircle this town. The Ukrainian army stands the ground, however Russia still has the movement on the north place. Let's see the timeline. It was yesterday and it is today. They gained some of the territory, but none of the residential areas. The Russian army officials also say that they've reached this hill over here. It's the artificial made terracon, we call them. Basically it is made out of the soil that was taken from the mines. Let's check out the satellite image. So now you probably understand what I'm talking about. So Russia claimed that they got this hill under control, but I read lots of the Russian military bloggers and some of them say that it's early to say whether Russia took this under control. However, as you can see, the gray zone expanded, so some of the units could go to that place but not yet establish the control over it. There were two of the Russian attacks, one from the north and the other one from the south. This one was totally unsuccessful, and here they took some of the ground. For now, not as much as they wanted. For the Ukrainian army, it is also early to say about the successful defense mission of Avdiivka. But Russian convoys for sure were ambushed and they lost many of the tanks. For yesterday the count was 6 of the tanks, for today more than 20. The Russian military command totally misjudged the defense of the Ukrainian army near to Avdiivka. Again, they thought that if they send lots of the forces, they will be able to get some of the ground and encircle this town. However, with the Ukrainian surveillance and artillery operation, this mission is impossible for Russia. They really need to send lots and lots of the forces with these tactics for it to be successful. They need at least 2 times more tanks and armored vehicles plus infantry for this successful mission for them. Because they use the very stupid tactics. They attack the enemy side, so Ukrainian positions, in the places where Ukraine waits for them. You may say that Dennis, it's the same for Ukraine on the south, but I wouldn't agree with that. Actually, Ukraine tried to use these tactics at the very beginning of the counteroffensive on the south, but one of our convoys was just ambushed together with Leopard 2 tanks and Bradley armored vehicles. Because of that, Ukrainian command changed the tactics and now uses the very small groups to move forward. It is much slower, but it saves the lives of our soldiers and also weaponry. But Russia needs Avdiivka just right here and right now, because Putin wants to be elected next year. The elections in Russia will happen in March. So Putin is up to say that he will go for the run, and to announce it he needs some sort of the victory. He chose Avdiivka for that. The Russian army got the order, yes comrade, and sent many of the tanks just to waste them in this useless attack. Ukraine, by the way, also sent more artillery systems and reinforcements to hold Russian army. However, I do expect that Russia will continue to send more and more sources because they have the order from the chief. And so far I'm out of clue whether Ukraine will be capable to hold Avdiivka for the very long time. But what I know that Russia should send reinforcements from Bakhmut directions or from Kupiansk to perform this successful mission for them, because they have quite limited resources for their army in Ukraine. It means that Ukraine might have some success on the other parts of the front lines. It's early to say about the Ukrainian counterattack over here, but also there is the variant that the Russian army will be just exhausted in Avdiivka and we may start to push them back. Plus today Ukraine also cuts the supply for Russia. They cut this bridge, so Russia is unable to transfer any more goods to this direction using this important road, and soon there's gonna be wet season. So Russia will be unable to use the field roads. So I expect this Russian attack mission over here lost for at least 1 month, but in a wet season it will not be possible for them to achieve their goals. That is what Russian military bloggers and volunteers say about their offensive near to Avdiivka. We need lots of the plastic bags for the bodies. Many. Just yesterday they were very optimistic about this Russian offensive. They say that this offensive will be 100% successful, but today they need lots of the plastic bags. Why? What went wrong? Again, many of the videos from the Russian attacks emerge in the media resources. My friends, unfortunately, I cannot share those footages on this resource. For that, please check out my Telegram channel. But here, the Russian vehicles were demolished. So far, the Ukrainian defense performs very well. You can see that in a modern-day war, the army is unable to advance forward without being recognized by the drone surveillance. So we know the exact location of the Russian army forces, the numbers of the vehicles and infantry. It is well understandable from the drone camera. Again, one more Russian convoy was ambushed. You can see lots of the armored vehicles which Russia lost just today, and they advance during the daytime, not during the night. Why? Because they're in lack of the special thermal cameras or night vision devices which Ukrainian army mostly has. That's why we use the small groups advancement during the night, and Russia uses the big groups during the daytime where everyone may see them. By the way, this is the bridge which Ukrainian army targeted today. It is the only line between Yasenovata and Horlivka, so Russia is unable to send more reinforcements using this road, and some of their vehicles are unable to go across the fields. Today, Ukraine also has the light advancement near to Robotyne. It was confirmed that this territory was freed from the Russian occupiers. Before, it was in the gray area. Clearly, we see the advancement of Ukrainian army towards Kapani. Still, it's far away from the front lines, but the goal for Ukraine is to penetrate the Russian defense and reach this village. Honestly, I do not expect the further advancement of Ukraine in the nearby future towards south near to Novoprokopivka and Verbovo, because now they've concentrated mostly to defend Avdiivka, which is over here not far away from Donetsk. I am not saying that Ukraine sent reinforcements from the south to this place, but for sure some of the reserves were used for defense of Avdiivka. In a way, Russia unfortunately reaching its goal by slowing down the Ukrainian counteroffensive operation on the south. Mostly it stalled there for several days already. But it doesn't mean that it failed. Ukraine will continue the offensive, and also it is going to happen this winter. Non-stop attacks to exhaust the Russian defense. The Ukrainian military intelligence confirmed that Russia was able to imprison one of our soldiers who was participating in the landing operation into Crimea. Hopefully our soldier, his name is Alexander Lobas, will be exchanged for the Russian soldiers. Unfortunately, some of the other members of this assault group lost their lives during the landing operation. Yesterday, I've already told you about the news that the Russian Pavel Derzhavin modern ship was attacked by something, or probably it hit the own Russian mine not far away from Sevastopol, and today we have the confirmation about this event coming from the Ukrainian officials. However, I'm still waiting for photos or videos with actual ship being damaged, because Ukrainian officials before said many things about Kadyrov's health and that the main commander of the Russian Black Sea Marine Fleet was killed because of the headquarters attack. But really all of them are alive, so I have only trust in video or photo confirmation from the eyewitnesses who are near to the ship. For sure there are some of the photos of it, we're just waiting for them to appear in internet. According to our military intelligence chief Budanov, Russia is able to continue the war till 2025 from the economical perspective and also till 2026 from the perspective of the army vehicles. What Russia wants is to stop right now to get more resources, to build more tanks and armored vehicles, and then continue this war in like 5 years or something. As for the soldiers, Russia has mostly unlimited resource. They may hire around 6 million soldiers for their army. However, they need something to equip those soldiers with. This winter, Russia will again try to cause the blackouts in Ukrainian cities. Now we see that mostly they use drones for their attacks and they keep cruise missiles for the winter time. By the way, Ukraine is now testing their own made missiles with a range up to 1,000 kilometers. The potential with that range is very significant, but when the Ukrainian army will get those missiles in the army is unknown. It seems like the theoretical part of the training of Ukrainian pilots on F-16s is over, so now Netherlands will send their F-16s fighter jets to Romania for that practical training. And finally, I think that the trained pilots will fly those machines from Romania to Ukrainian military airfields. By the way, Bulgaria will also join the training of Ukrainian pilots on F-16s. They will train just the theoretical part and mostly English, the aviation terms in English and phraseology that each pilot should know. Those are the victims of the Russian attack on the Ruzzia village, where they used the Iskander ballistic missile, which is also capable to carry the nuclear warhead. Russia openly admitted in United Nations that those were Nazis. Who were Nazis? This woman, this boy? It is one more evidence that Russia performs genocide and war crimes against Ukrainian civilian people. Russia needs the denazification itself. This evening, the kaboom was reported not far away from the Bryansk airfield. Locals reported that they heard the noise of the piston engine from the drone. The performance of a Ukrainian pilot, which I don't really like, they want to show off in front of the crowd on the helicopter flying very, very low. You can see over here. So this soldier, he got up and he called the guy, the pilot, is stupid. Because definitely the helicopter was flying just few centimeters away from the ground and lower than the height of the average male. I would say that the soldier filming was lucky not to lose his head in this case. I personally know many of the cases that pilots wanted to show off, but something went wrong. They caused damages and sometimes even human life loss. I'm speaking about the cases in general aviation and also in military, not the commercial one. So what was the reason to fly that low just towards the soldier is unknown for me. The pilot probably wanted to boost the morale of the soldiers, but it shouldn't be done in that reckless flying manner. The United States will supply many of the Switchblade 600 drones. Those could be used to target even tanks. Before, Ukraine got mostly the smaller version and later on changed to use the FPV drones equipped with RPG shell. But this thing flies longer than the standard FPV drone and also very capable. My friends, I want to split the topics of Ukraine and Israel. So today I'm gonna record one more video about the events happening in Israel. Believe me, they are interconnected with the events happening in Ukraine because people responsible and countries responsible are mainly the same: Russia, Iran, and China. So stand by for my next update in a few hours. My friends, don't forget to press the like to this video, and also you may check out some of the links in the video description below where you may support my channel. Special thanks for my Patreon supporters and the sponsors of my YouTube channel. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.